You're welcome back to Afrosport now in focus. Let's get quick into it. And it's the Premier League top five. And of course, we look at the standings right now. After 33 games, we can see that Liverpool are topping the standings and just need perhaps one win to just clinch the title from here on. Perhaps even if Arsenal could lose against Crystal Palace in midweek, they could seal the title from then on. But then it's all about what happens with the positions after them. That's what we're discussing on this episode of Afrosport Now in Focus. And of course, we can see the standings on the screen. Nottingham Forest come in third, 60 points they've amassed so far this season. Newcastle United have jumped up in recent weeks to fourth, and now they have 59 points, just 1 point off Nottingham Forest. And then Manchester City, unfamiliar position for them, reigning champions, but they've got 58 points in fifth place. And even when you look at that race in the table, Chelsea and Aston Villa are very much in that conversation with 57 points apiece. So it's all about who finishes behind Liverpool and Arsenal, and that's what we're going to be discussing right here on the show today. And joining me in this conversation is, of course, Coach Adeyemi Adedeji, Whittaking FC's coach, and definitely is calling in from Switzerland. Great to have you, Coach. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me.
Right, and of course, just to quickly address that, it is now, of course, technical and tactical youth director of FC Gusau. Coach, incredible. Congratulations to you on that one.
Thank you very much. It's something I've been expecting from that team club called Gusau, but God time is the best. I really appreciate them for giving me this opportunity to do what I love to do best.
Incredible. It's your time to shine, and we look forward to it. But let's talk about the Premier League top five race. Liverpool, so far, so good. Have almost clinched the title. Arsenal, we know, will finish perhaps in second, all things being equal, except there's an inequality right there. But then Nottingham Forest, Newcastle United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Aston Villa, 5 teams vying to finish in 3 places for the Champions League next season. How do you see this one going down the wire, Coach?
Yeah, if you look directly into the table, you see that the third position, fourth position, and fifth position is not guaranteed to anyone. But only what we can also see that is an advantage for some of the clubs, like a club like Chelsea has. I think they have more difficult match to play. They are playing Liverpool, playing Everton, also playing. They are also playing Newcastle. That is the right opponent to take the third position, and also they are playing Manchester United. I think it's going to be difficult for Chelsea to be among the first fifth in the table. I think Everton and Manchester City, they still have a chance to overtake Newcastle or to overtake Nottingham Forest.
Quite rightly, Eddie, mentioning your concerns about Chelsea, and of course, as you can see on the screen, they'll face 2 Merseyside clubs: Everton, Liverpool, Newcastle United, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest. All difficult games on paper and even on the pitch. But Coach, these 5 fixtures left, how many points do you see Chelsea taking out of it?
I think it will be very difficult for the only team I think Chelsea can override in this all the 5 matches they have right now. I think only Manchester is not doing well. The other team, I think, is going to give them the fight for their money, because right now Everton is in their form. Liverpool, they are also in the top of the table. You also see Newcastle. They know that any slip in that against Chelsea or against the next opponent, they may lose the first to fourth position. So, and Nottingham Forest also knows that for all what they need right now in the last 5 matches, or that if they don't win, they have to draw for them to be able to stay in that position they are, or that to be in the first 5. I think Chelsea. It will be difficult for Chelsea to be among the first 5. I think Everton, I think they still, Aston Villa, sorry, I think they still have a chance to be among the first 5.
Right then, let's now take it from third place. Now, Nottingham Forest are in third. They've had quite a great season so far. You know, Espirito Santo has led them to where they are now, third, and they've been in that position for the most part of the season. They were sixth before Monday night, Sunday's game, I believe, against, or Monday night's game, yeah, I believe, against Tottenham Hotspur, and that took them back to third, and they secured 60 points. Now they'll face Brentford, Crystal Palace, Leicester City, West Ham United, and Chelsea. And going by how they've performed so far this season, it does look like these are fixtures that are winnable for them.
Yeah, looking to their next opponent they are going to play in the last 5 matches. I think they have more easier match than the Manchester City and the Aston Villa, because Aston Villa too also has a very difficult match. They are going to play Spurs. They're going to play Manchester away after playing as Manchester City tonight. I think tonight's match we decide where their fate is going to be, because if they lose to Manchester City today, then they can forget the first the fourth and fifth position. But Nottingham Forest, I think they have an advantage due to the opponent they are going to play, and I also think Newcastle also they are going to have an easy ride, because Newcastle too is their opponent is just I think Brighton. They have Brighton in their new than Everton, and also as Arsenal. I think Newcastle, they can also still retain their position. Otherwise, they're going to be in fifth position. But I see more Manchester City. I see more Newcastle and Nottingham Forest to complete the first 5 on the table.
Wouldn't it'd be incredible for Newcastle, looking at the fixtures they have. They have some tough ones. They'll play Chelsea, they'll play Everton, they'll play Brighton, Ipswich, Everton as well. But they won the Carabao Cup already this season. To clinch 4th place or even any place in the Champions League would be incredible, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic season for them. If they can be able to retain that position, 4th position or 5th position, it's going to be a fantastic season for them. But at the same time, football, you never say never, because Aston Villa too, they are a team that can surprise anybody, because the only team I think that can give Aston Villa also headache is this match they're going to play tonight, because later they're going to play Fulham. It's 50-50. They can beat Fulham. They can also beat Dortmund. But Dortmund is very strong at home. I think also the people that can go to give them another eyes for their money, they are going to work for their money is sport. And that is their own match for them. I think the table is very, very open. It's very, very open. If Newcastle is not careful, I think they may drop out of the first 5.
All right, let's look at the next team, Manchester City. And, of course, it's an unfamiliar environment for them to be competing for the Champions League after such an incredible run of seasons for them. They find themselves in 5th place, and now they will face Aston Villa next. Aston Villa also vying for the same position, 5th at this point, and then they'll play Wolverhampton Wanderers, Southampton already relegated, Bournemouth as well, and they'll also face Fulham. But Pep Guardiola's team, do you fancy them to at least clinch 4th or 5th?
For them, I think the only match that's going to give them headache is tonight's match, because this Aston Villa, they are kind of team that can beat anybody on their day, because the coach is a very good experienced coach. He knows how to play every opponent with the different tactics, for the different dynamic set play. I think if they escape tonight against Aston Villa, 100% they are going to be among the first 4. Even not even 5, they can be among the first 4, because the other fixture I think is going to be a walkover fixture for them. Because even Fulham that cannot is going to be home match for them. I think Fulham cannot stop them. The only thing that can stop them in their next 5 matches is Fulham and Aston Villa. And I think if they can beat Aston Villa tonight, 100% they can take the 4th or 3rd position.
So much talk about Aston Villa. Let's talk about them even here and now. Of course, we know they'll play City, and well, of course, you've talked about how well built, how well rounded they are. They'll also face Fulham. They'll play against Bournemouth, Tottenham Hotspur, and then Manchester United. A lot of tough games in there, Coach.
Yeah, I think for them too, that's why I said they can't be among the first 5, because the only match that can stop them tonight is tonight's match. If they get a draw tonight, I think the future is bright for them, because they're going to have Fulham at home, and they're Dortmund, then they're going to have Sport, then they're going to have Manchester United. I think they can for Manchester United, I think they can play Manchester United. They cannot play the Dortmund, they can play Fulham, but Sport can give them also eyes for their money. But I think they are in a better chance if they can be able to get a draw tonight, and I think if they win tonight, then the future is clear for them. But if they get the draw tonight, then I think they still have to fight to be among the first 5.
Right, coach. Just before we take a break, I'll let you predict your final five: Liverpool, Arsenal, and then who completes the top five for you.
If I have to, let me have a diptych. Sorry, just a second. I think Liverpool has already is going to win the league. Arsenal is going to be the second position. I think now it's going to be between. I doubt Newcastle. Sorry, I doubt Newcastle. I think I'm going to take Liverpool and say Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City, and Aston Villa.
Incredible. And that leaves out Chelsea and Newcastle United. We'll see how it pans out with 5 more game weeks to go. But thank you very much, coach. Now we'll take a break.